She had everything money could buy. But she kept failing at the one thing money couldn't give her: success. No tutor, no elite school, no amount of wealth could save her from failure. But then, a single dad janitor, with nothing but his heart and one secret, changed her life forever. Sophia had everything most people could only dream of. She lived in a mansion so big that her footsteps echoed through the marble halls. Expensive cars lined the driveway, servants rushed at every call, and the world saw her as the lucky daughter of a billionaire. But behind the glass walls of her perfect life, Sophia was crumbling. At school, she carried the weight of endless expectations. Her father enrolled her in the best private academy, hired the most expensive tutors, and paid for every resource money could buy. Yet, no matter how much she studied, no matter how hard she tried, Sophia failed every test that came her way. Math confused her, history felt like a blur, and even when she stayed up late memorizing pages, her mind went blank during exams. Her classmates whispered behind her back, mocking her for being the dumb rich girl. Teachers shook their heads in disappointment, convinced she wasn't trying hard enough. The cruelest judgment came from her own father. Each time she brought home another failing grade, his face hardened. "I gave you everything," he would say sharply. "Why can't you even pass a simple test?" His words cut deeper than any insult. Sophia wanted to scream that she was trying, that she wasn't lazy, that she wasn't stupid. But no one seemed to listen. Every report card felt like proof that she didn't belong, that she was unworthy of her father's love and respect. Slowly, she stopped raising her hand in class, stopped talking to her friends, and carried her pain silently. Beneath all her riches, Sophia felt poorer than anyone else. Poor in hope, poor in confidence, and poor in love. Every afternoon, when the last bell rang and students rushed out laughing and shouting, the hallways of the academy grew quiet. That was when Daniel appeared. He wasn't a teacher or a tutor or anyone important in the eyes of the students. He was the janitor. A man with worn shoes, a faded uniform, and tired eyes that told stories of sleepless nights. Daniel walked the halls with his broom and mop, cleaning the mess that others left behind. To most students, he was invisible. They passed by him without even a glance, as though he didn't exist. But to Sophia, he was different. She noticed him because, like her, he also seemed to carry a heavy silence. One evening, after another failed test, Sophia sat alone on a bench in the hallway, clutching her paper with the big red F written across the top. Her chest felt heavy, her eyes burned, but she refused to cry where anyone could see her. Daniel, pushing his mop bucket nearby, paused when he noticed her sitting there. For a long moment, he didn't say anything. Then, quietly, he sat on the bench across from her, wiping his hands with a rag. "You know," he said gently, his voice calm and steady, "failure doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're learning where your strength is hiding." Sophia looked up, startled. Nobody had ever spoken to her like that. Teachers scolded her. Her father shamed her. Friends laughed at her. But this janitor, who had no reason to care, spoke as if he understood. For the first time in a long time, Sophia didn't feel completely alone. And that one small moment would begin to change everything. After that day, something inside Sophia shifted. She began to linger at school after classes, pretending to be busy with her notebooks while secretly waiting for Daniel to appear with his mop and broom. He never asked why she stayed, and she never admitted it, but slowly, a quiet friendship grew between them. Instead of lectures or textbooks, Daniel taught her in small, simple ways. One afternoon, as he swept the classroom floor, he said, "See this? I don't try to clean the whole room at once. I pick one corner and finish it. Then I move to the next, step by step. That's how you clean a floor. That's also how you solve a problem." His words stuck in her heart. Sophia began to notice the way Daniel lived. He was always tired, but never bitter. She learned that he was a single father raising a little girl by himself, working 2 jobs to make ends meet. He didn't have riches or an easy life, yet there was something in him stronger than all the wealth she had ever known: patience. He carried his struggles like heavy bags, but he never let them crush him. Through his quiet lessons, Sophia began to realize that her problem wasn't intelligence. It wasn't that she was stupid or lazy, as everyone said. It was fear. Fear of failing again. Fear of disappointing her father. Fear of being laughed at. But when Daniel spoke, that fear slowly shrank. He believed in her without asking for anything in return. And in those small, ordinary conversations after school, Sophia discovered something extraordinary. That the greatest lessons in life don't always come from books, but from people who carry wisdom in their hearts. Weeks passed, and Sophia found herself looking forward to the quiet talks with Daniel more than anything else in her day. His words stayed in her mind, guiding her when she studied at night. One evening, after another long day of classes, she finally gathered the courage to ask what had been sitting heavy in her heart. She looked at Daniel as he leaned on his broom, and with a trembling voice, she whispered, "Why do you always believe I can do it? Everyone else thinks I'm hopeless. Even my father doesn't believe in me. But you never doubt me. Why?" Daniel paused for a moment, setting his broom aside. He sat down on the bench, his face calm but filled with memories. "Because once I was just like you," he said softly. "I had nothing. No one thought I would make it. But there was one person, just one, who believed in me when I had nothing left. That belief changed me. It gave me the strength to keep going." He looked at Sophia kindly, his tired eyes shining with quiet strength. "The secret, Sophia, is not about being the smartest or having the most money. It's this: never stop trying, and never stop believing in yourself, even when the whole world laughs at you." His words pierced through her heart like sunlight breaking through clouds. For the first time in her life, she felt as if the heavy chains of failure were loosening. She realized she didn't need to be perfect, and she didn't need to carry the weight of her father's expectations. What she needed was to believe, truly believe, that she was capable of more than her mistakes. And in that moment, hope quietly bloomed inside her for the very first time. The day of the next exam arrived, and Sophia sat at her desk with her pencil trembling in her hand. Normally, she would panic the moment the papers landed in front of her. But this time, she remembered Daniel's words. Step by step, corner by corner. She took a deep breath and began slowly, one question at a time. She didn't rush, she didn't freeze. For once, she trusted herself. Hours later, when she turned in her paper, she felt something she had never felt before after a test: calm. A week later, the results came back. Sophia unfolded her paper with shaking hands, her heart pounding. And there it was, passing grade. Not perfect, not the highest in the class, but a victory greater than any gold trophy. She had done it. For the first time in her life, she had passed. Her classmates stared in disbelief, whispering among themselves. The teachers were surprised. But the only reaction that mattered was her own. A smile spread across her face, not because she had impressed anyone else, but because she had finally proven something to herself. When she saw Daniel in the hallway that evening, she ran up to him, holding her paper close to her chest. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "I did it." Daniel didn't cheer or make a scene. He simply smiled, his tired eyes soft with pride, and said, "I knew you could." From that moment on, Sophia's life began to change. She studied not out of fear, not for her father's approval, but for her own growth. And whenever doubt crept back in, she remembered Daniel's secret: that true strength isn't measured by wealth or grades, but by the courage to keep trying, and the belief that you are never a failure if you refuse to give up. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe to my channel for more powerful and inspiring stories.